Hello, 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 hello. Hey family, what's happening? We are back.
Hello, how you doing?
We are back. We are back. We are back. We would like to welcome you to Black and Married with Kids. We are the Milburns. I am Barbara Milburn.
I'm Joe Milburn, and we are
Team
Team Milburn.
Milburn. And we are back another Saturday for another segment of Black and Married with Kids, Marriage Over 70. So come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in and join us for the conversation. Come on in and just sit for a spell. We won't be before you long. Just give us 20, 30 minutes of your time. We just want to share some things with you. How was your holiday? How was your festivities over the
Yes,
last couple of days?
yes.
So much is just going on for so many different people. So we just want to say, come on in and join us for a little bit. Joe, take a look on your Facebook page, maybe see if anybody is there. It's the holidays.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody's even in the house. Everybody is out celebrating it. And that's all good because we're going to keep on going with whatever we have to say. Look, come on in. Come on.
Yes.
Looking for all of these error messages that are popping up here on my laptop. I'm not used to doing lives with laptops, and the things that you see on the laptop, you don't see on your phone. So I'm always looking at what's going on. But come on in, come on in. Again, we are Barbara
And Joe
Milburn, Team Milburn.
Yes.
And we are here for Black and Married with Kids, and our segment is called Marriage Over 70. And tonight we are going to talk about how to keep the romance in your marriage after you're 70. So come on in and join us, whatever time of day it is where you are, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Central. I think that's 3 p.m. over on the California coast. Come on in and just join us for a little while. We're going to just have a little bit of conversation, a little bit of dialogue. Let me say this before I get started. I'd like to thank Dr. Dunamis D and her daughter Ariel Fuller for giving us the opportunity to be on their platform and talk about the things that we'll be talking about. We also want to invite you to join the Black and Married with Kids private Facebook group. It is different from where you are now. You are actually on the Black and Married with Kids page now. But if you search in Facebook, you'll come up with the group. I invite you to join. I invite you to like. I invite you to follow us. And in that way, you will get notifications about whenever we come live, and we have a group of people who present throughout the course of the week. So just come on in and join us for a little bit. And Joe, if you're ready, I'm going to let you talk for a little while about how to keep the romance in the marriage after 70.
After 70. Yes, hello. Romance at 30 and at 70 is two different love languages. Romance often is a building project at 30, high energy, focusing on the future, their jobs, the kids, how many kids they're going to have. But at 70, the romance is quiet, intentional, and we are focusing on the present. At 30, marriages often feels like a job interview to show what you can do. At 70, the resume no longer matters. It's the company, what you keep. So it's really two different platforms. And we would need to elaborate a little more on 70, 70 where it's all quiet and you have been through all of those things that you had wanted to do. And like sitting together, close, talking about our memories like we do, going down memory lane. Let me ask you, Barbara, do you remember something like in the Poconos? What we did?
Yeah, we did the Poconos for our honeymoon, and then we went back a couple times after that. But it was the fantasy of it all. The champagne glass, the having the swimming pool in your
Heart-shaped
living
swimming
room.
pool, yeah.
Being out in the wilderness with other couples, but being safe. I remember feeling how safe we were walking out if we woke up and decided we wanted to go take a midnight stroll. And the weather participated because I'm not a cold weather person, but it wasn't extremely cold. So I had a better time than I had anticipated. Even the snowmobile, I did the snowmobile, guys.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
do snow. And that was really fun. We had a really, really great time.
And, like we look back on the pictures back then, and every now and then I come to mention to myself, I haven't talked to you about it. What would happen if we do that again at this age?
Well, we can go try and see. How about that?
I knew you were going to say that. But look, as we grow older, life change, your physical body change, we get older, we just have a whole lot of just ailments. And sometimes we just don't have the energy
that we used to.
Yes. And, now it comes down, we are 70, we are not 30. That's 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So we had to do things differently. We had to look at things differently. Like we would used to sit together. This is kind of romantic now, but it's just the quiet things that we do now that excites us and rekindles things in our marriage.
Right. I know, when you think about the word romance, what comes to mind? You guys put in the chat what comes to mind when you think about the word romance. Because we see so many different variations, I guess you would say, of what the world would have us to believe romance is. We see in the novels, the romance novels are all sexy and steamy, and it's a lot of whirlwind, love, and everything is you have to do it right away. There's just so much push in doing it right away. But is that really what life is all about? What really is romance? Put in a chat what you think romance really means. Would really like to know what you guys think. And while you're doing that, I'm going to take a little minute to again thank Dr. Dunamis D and her daughter Ariel for allowing us to be here and for giving us this opportunity, because we don't take it lightly. If you have not seen us before, because we kind of jumped in without talking, we did say that we were Barbara and Joe Milburn, but we come to you on what we call knowledge by experience, because we have been a couple for so long. We first met in 1979. I think he reminded me that I said 76 last year, but it's been so long that I just kind of forget. But since 1979, we were originally married in 1981. In fact, yesterday, December 26th, was our anniversary date. If you go back to 1981, that means that we have been looking at each other for
44 years.
Yeah, that's how long the marriage date was. But we've been looking at each other a little longer than that.
Yes. But also, it wasn't continuously 44 years.
Right.
We did separate, divorce, and we remarried again.
We had a little bubble in the middle.
Yes.
Right around year 22 or 23. And to me, I think that's where the biggest challenge is. I hear so many couples who have reached that mark, 20, 21, 22, and they're struggling. Where in the beginning, you don't have all of that. In the beginning, a lot of times, if you have a family, you have your kids, they keep you bonded. If you buy a house, doing things in the house, decorating, whatever it is that you're doing, renovations, you're usually doing it as a couple. So that keeps you close together. So you have all those things that kind of knit you together. But when the children get older and don't need as much of your attention, sometimes couples seem to drift apart. And that's where the struggle really is. But all things are possible. And like I said before, we were chatting last night. Speaking of romance, Mr. Romance, he asked me about midday, are you going to get dressed later on and we can have a glass of champagne? And I'm like, well, sure. Because the weather outside was really terrible.
Yes.
We didn't want to go out because they were talking about icy conditions. Plus, at our age, we really ain't trying to go out the door after it get dark anyway. So stay at home was just fine with me. He does most of the cooking, so I didn't have to cook. So that was one thing that I didn't have to do. But he got all dressed up in his tuck and his bow tie, and I put on a pretty dress, and we played some music, and we danced and had some champagne, and we just really had a good time, reminiscing and thinking about how things used to be and where we're going from this point, because we still got a whole lot of living to do.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. You know, one thing about being older in marriage, as we are 70 plus, you know, and looking at when we were back in our 30s, when we kind of first met, we had the romance. It was hot and steamy, you know, and yeah, we would get together. And back in when we was 30, we could do it all night. But now that we are 70, it takes all night to do it, you know, so it's a different time.
Yes, my Lord, it's a very different time. Sister Melissa said, caring and cherished. When I asked about what people thought romance was, she said caring and cherished. And that's like almost the nail on the head. You really tend to, especially at our age, you tend to care and cherish things much more than you did, or much more than we did when we were younger. And that probably had something to do with our separation, because we both went our separate ways. It's like we grew apart, but we aren't supposed to grow apart. We're supposed to grow together. A lot of times too, we go to our female friends who have no husbands to seek their advice. And they give us information that's not really good. So we have all of these extra voices in our head that we tend to go by. But that's definitely the wrong thing to do.
But as we grow older, even now, our romance or our foreplay is touching and comforting each other. You know, we got the gentle massage, you know, that we do, you know, the cuddling, you know, the holding hands, and something funny, we even hold hands when we sleep. But all of that is part of being romantic. You know.
They used to say back in the day, upper persuasion for lower invasion, I think was the way they used to say it. But I want to read this real quick. There are different types of love languages. There are a few books that are out on the market that talk about the 5 love languages, because we all we feel love, we give love, and what we expect in love comes in different ways. So we all give and receive love in 5 different ways. There are words of affirmation, there are acts of service, receiving gifts, spending quality time, and physical touch. What's yours? Mine's is acts of service. I mean, when you do stuff for me, that just makes me feel like really good. And it could be cooking a dinner. I haven't had to cook a dinner in a really, really long time. So I really sometimes appreciate you relieving me of something that I really don't get pleasure in doing, than going out and buying me a gift.
And I like to surprise her with different things. It's if I see it and I think she like it, even if she don't like it, I still buy it and give it to her, you know. But because the expression on her face that she just received something, you know, it's worth a million words to me. And plus it keeps me out of the doghouse.
Sure. when I asked you guys about romance, and I had Google romance before we started because I wanted to see what Google said. Um, Google says romancing someone involves thoughtful actions, active listening, physical affection that makes them feel special and seen. I know a lot of times for us women, we not seen per se as like out there, but when you feel like you are maybe doing for your mate, you're coming home from work, you're cooking, you're cleaning, you're taking care of the children, you're doing all those things, and you can barely get well, you look nice today. Or, honey, you look like you tired. You go sit down and I'll do such and such and let me do that for you. That means so much. And it's such a little thing. It doesn't cost you anything. But at the same token, it's letting you know that you value the other person. And that's just so important. When he talked about holding hands, he told the truth. We hold hands in bed. I don't know how that started happening, but it does.
I just don't want you to get away from me. That's all.
Something else that we do. I didn't tell him I was going to say this, but we usually do our devotions in the morning. And once we do the devotions, it's a devotional app. And so it basically reads to you. So all you have to do is just hold the phone and listen. But after we've listened to the 3 segments of the devotion, we will always close together in prayer. And we always say the Lord's Prayer. But we put a little twist in it. When it says, no, I'm drawing a breath. Our Father, with art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in us. Because us is the soil. So when you say in earth, man came from earth.
Yes.
So every day we ask God to let his will be done in us.
Yes.
Whatever that is, whatever that looks like. And God is going to have his way. We talked about this in class this morning. God is going to have his way anyway. So why not surrender and make it easy on yourself instead of fighting, going against whatever it is that he's asking you to do? You know wrong from right. You know good versus evil. And we're always going to have good versus evil. No matter how long we live on this earth, it's not going to change. And I appreciate the teaching that Dr. Dunamis D gives us on the kingdom, the principles of the kingdom, and so many things that we have not been taught throughout the course of our lives. We go to church, we hear the preacher, we get the scripture. But most times, and I'm not saying it never happens, but most times you do not have anyone to sit down and actively teach you, show you, and give you strategies on how to apply that word to your individual situation. That's the difference. That's a big difference. It's a huge difference. And it means all the world to me because I can see the manifestations of our prayer life and how things are happening in our lives that we thought would never happen, or we gonna go on to glory before that ever changes. I'm seeing changes. Joe is seeing changes. Sure. And they're popping up every day. And it's just, I know that it is because of what we're learning and how we are being not only taught God's word, but how to apply it specifically to whatever our situation is, because my situation and your situation is different. There's not a universal prayer. That's why we say in us, because what he's working in you is different
from us
than what he's working in us. So take that prayer, and not just that one, anyone you choose, just make it special to yourself. Apply the word to you. We studied today, and then I'm going to let you talk, in Luke chapter 2. I'm going to paraphrase, but it was saying the wisdom that was given to Jesus. Try turning that around and taking that same scripture. Look it up when we get off of the line. It's Luke chapter 2, verse 52. And where you see Jesus call your name. Not that you're comparing yourself with Jesus, because I'm not even saying that. because he is the all supreme. But if you change that, that's an affirmation. You have just made yourself a personal affirmation where the wisdom and the favor will grow in you. And if you ask him, he says, ask for wisdom, he will give you wisdom. But you got to ask in all things, in the marriage, in everything.
In everything.
In everything. Did you have something you want to add?
In the prayer life, it's good for us seniors. I'm just saying us seniors, but married couples and singles too. It's good to pray. And you pray with each other and for each other, because prayer works. Prayer knits things together. It holds things together. It's the glue of life.
Yes.
So prayer does work.
I see Sister Lillian said implementation. You can study the word all you want. You can roll it around in your head all you want, but if you ain't living it, nothing's changing. And as long as nothing changed, you're always going to be the same. So what would you prefer, the pain of change or the pain of staying the same?
Change.
You got to change to grow. I'm glad that you guys are here. We're going to be here on Saturday evenings at 6 p.m.
Eastern time.
Until we're not. We don't know when that will be. But we're glad that you're here. We're glad that you keep coming back.
Yes. Thank you.
Don't just sign in on Saturdays. Sign in throughout the week. We have a whole panel of presenters that come on throughout the week, and they have all kinds of juicy topics. Dr. Glenda Hayden comes on Monday at noon with this cute little segment that's called Mom's Minutes or something close to that, where she takes a break right in the middle of the day for moms who might need a little boost to get through the extra day. Maybe the kids are getting on their nerves, or maybe, I don't know, it could be a battery of different things, but she gives you that little quiet time right in the middle of the day. And then who comes on Monday at 7?
Monday, it's Kevin and Maisha Booker.
Okay, so the Bookers will be on Monday evening at 7, and they talk about infidelity, and they have some powerful talks. If you have not seen them, you are missing a real treat, because they're open and they're honest and they're very transparent about the things that have happened in their relationship and how God has taken them from point A to point B. Then we have the Whitfields. They come on and they talk about faith in marriage. We have the Whites. They come on and they talk about communication, Lisa and Garrett White. And then we have Sister Quetta J, who comes on Fridays, and she's talking about praying wives. She talks about the things that are going on, the prayers that we send up for our men, because our mantra in Dunamis Woman, which is how we got acquainted with Dr. Dunamis D, is our men shall be set free and our legacy shall live. So we're very, very fervent about those two things. And we keep them in the forefront of everything that we do. So join us. Please come back. We want to tell you more about us. We want to know more about you.
Yes.
Drop in the chat what state you're from. I ask you guys that often. And what did you do for the holiday? Tell me something special that you did. Something that really warmed your heart.
Yeah.
What special thing may have occurred that warmed your heart? And even if it was something that you were looking for that didn't come, tell us about that too. Sometimes just sharing. Make sure you're in the private Facebook group. Sometimes just sharing can make you feel a little better about something that did not happen that you were expecting to happen. But I want to say a little bit about this before we go, because we're supposed to be talking about romance, right? And so last night, just the two of us, we put on some smooth jazz music and we danced around the living room and we laughed and we joked. We took pictures just like we were really out at some fancy restaurant or something. We didn't have to go anywhere. We didn't have to spend a lot of money. Not saying that that's not something that you don't, because sometimes it's good when somebody just kind of like goes overboard for you, but you don't have to.
Right.
You don't have to. The thought, how much thought you put into what you do means a whole lot more than how much money you spend. For me, because my love language isn't that. Your love language you might want the pearls and the diamonds, but honestly, that's not my thing. If he took me to the store right now and I could pick out the biggest diamond in there, I probably wouldn't.
Let me stop you on that because that really happened. I sent her to a jewelry store and told her, see what you like in there. And they had some nice jewelry, and I didn't go with her. There was a reason why I didn't go, but they had some 5 carat diamond rings in there. They had some 6 carat, 3 carat, some beautiful clusters and everything. She came back and said, yeah, I seen something. I said, okay, let's go get it. And she said, no, I don't want to go get it. I said, well, okay, tell me what you saw and I'm going to go and get it for you. She went and she saw this ring. The diamond was about that big. I said, I love this woman. I sent her to a jewelry store. She can pick out anything she wants, and she picked out a $200 ring. I was so happy.
I like little petite things. I just don't like big things. If you like them, that's fine, because we all different. Mm-hmm. And that's my stepfather used to say all the time, it takes all kinds to make the world go round. And I didn't know what he was talking about. In all honesty, most of the time when he was saying it, he would be drunk. How many of you know it's a lot of truth come out of the drunk's mouth? But I would look at him and think to myself, that old silly man, he don't know what he's talking about. But the older I am and the more I live, the more I see that it takes all kinds to make the world go round. Mm-hmm. So going back to romance, okay. What do you like? Mm-hmm. What do you like for your mate to do or not to do? Ask him what he likes. Because a lot of times we make assumptions. Like I talked about a couple weeks ago about how we think the men's supposed to read our mind. They can't. But we can't read their minds either. Mm-hmm. So we have to ask, what do you like? What would you like to do? Because when he first asked me what did I want to do yesterday, and I was like, whatever. That's my answer, whatever. Yes. I just knew was not going outside because I'm not a cold weather person. So to get dressed and to go out and, get all bundled out just to go out in the cold, sit up in a restaurant and then get bundled up to come back out, that just didn't please me. That didn't thrill me at all.
So I had to recreate the outside scene here in the living room, with the dressing up and coming down, and we're visualizing that we're out. We really wasn't visualizing. We were really out.
We really were out.
But it was really festive, and we will celebrate now 44th anniversary. That was a lot of years.
As the whites called it, the OG anniversary.
The OG anniversary,
yeah,
yes.
The OG anniversary. Yes. Life is one day at a time. You can't. Today has enough trouble of its own without worrying about tomorrow. And try not to bring, not try, let me take that back. Mm-hmm. Rewind, delete. Mm-hmm. Don't bring yesterday into today. Leave that over there.
Today has enough troubles of its own.
And what was that you were saying earlier about the future and the present? When we were younger, we were busy thinking about...
Oh, yeah. At age 30, we were thinking about more of the future where we had the high energy and we was thinking about our jobs and careers and the family and everything. But at age 70, we are thinking about the present.
Right now.
We'll have to live in the moment.
Yes.
Because it's not given to you. You don't know when the moment's going to end. So you have to live in that moment around age 70. So because tomorrow is not promised.
Tomorrow's not promised. It's really not promised to any of us. But I think we think about it a lot more when we get older because we've lived more than we have left to live, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I don't suspect that I will live another 72 years. That would make me, 144? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I ain't Methuselah.
Mhm. Let me tell you, we get ready to end this.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what happened last night. You know, we start playing them old grown folks records, you know. And we got playful and we start teasing and talking about what feels good and what we need more of. And oh, we were working it. And then we went to sleep.
Okay, come on.
All right.
It's
All
been
right.
a pleasure, guys. I'm glad you came. Please come back next Saturday, 6 o'clock, for another segment of Life After 70. Learn a little bit more about us. We're going to learn a little bit more about you. Our topic next week is, why do husbands lose interest after 20 plus years of marriage, or do they? Why do they lose interest after 20 plus years of marriage, or do they? And if you have some thoughts about what we're going to talk about next week, put it in the chat now. It'll help us. Put some topics in the chat. It will help us. We want to help you, but we need you to help us as well. So until next week, you guys have a very happy new year, and we will see you then. Okay? God bless. Thank you, Dr. Dynamis D, Professor Ariel. We appreciate you. Love you guys.
See you next year.
Next year, 2026.